Hello and welcome to Shop on TV with me, your good buddy, Rob Lock with an E. And tonight we have one of my favourite shows to present actually, because I used to collect watches back in the day, and when I could afford it, before I started slumming it on television, you know, this ungodly hour. And I've just noticed how my head is perfectly making up the O in shop behind me. It's a slightly larger O than usual. So tonight we have two watch ranges. They are sort of related, and we'll explain that momentarily. So we have Samuel Joseph, which is, I believe, brand new to you, and we also have Swan and Edgar. But here to tell us all about it and do a deep dive with all of these amazing timepieces is the one and only, the man who needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway, because by jingo, I think he deserves it. David Anthony. Hello, sir. How are you?
Wonderful.
Oh, my pleasure. Least I could do.
You know, back
quite
with
literally.
Vengeance, wasn't that a super movie? Honestly, it really was. But now,
Sorry, which movie?
Die with a Vengeance.
Oh, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yes.
It was a very good movie.
Incredible movie.
Yeah, one of my favourites.
Yeah, Simon Says.
Simon Said.
And,
do you know? I think that's of all of the three of them. I think that is actually my favourite.
Yeah, it's the first one with a screenplay. You know, the others were novels. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I often quote "Holy Toledo, someone had fun," which was Jeremy Irons.
Yes.
In his American accent. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now,
So
welcome.
Samuel Joseph for the very
Samuel
first time.
Joseph. Yes. Yes.
Amazing London brand.
Yep. I'm
And
going to put that down there.
it's a watch, Jim, but it's a watch as no one ever knew a watch, because it's a
Right.
multifunctional timepiece.
Yep.
It's going to really test your skills here.
Okay.
Because it's got so many different components.
Components. But look, is that right, that price?
Well, it's $199, isn't it? But tonight, because this is a launch. This is a launch on ITV and STV. Hello.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to all of you.
You know, and as it's a launch, they have given us an incredible price.
$59.99. You're saving £140. So you have a choice of black or red. That's the strap, I'm guessing. So this is the red version, but I love the red red and black are actually my favourite combination of colour and tone.
The gunmetal inserts are really a little piece of designer.
Yeah.
Conceit, if you like.
Yes.
You've got a rotating bezel, 45mm case size, and you've got a stopwatch
function.
You've also got an alarm function.
Wow.
A chime function.
And it's digi-analog.
And it's digital and analog, so you've got both, you've got two clocks on it, so you can have two time zones if you want.
Wow.
And all that for that.
For 60 quid?
Price. Yes.
That is phenomenal. It really is. The strap is big and chunky. That wonderful, is it like a neoprene?
That's
almost?
a silicon.
A silicon, that's the word I was looking for, sorry. Yes. I mean, it's just a bold look, isn't it?
It's really sporty.
Very sporty.
Really comfortable. It's got 3 ATMs, water resistance.
Yeah.
And mineral glass. I mean, all the things you'd expect, but at a price that really can't be repeated. So
indeed. In fact, we probably won't repeat it. So
brilliant.
So that's the red I'm wearing. If you want the black, basically we'll reverse the colours. You can always have a look at shopontv.co.uk, and you will be able to see what the other alternative looks like. We'll get to that very shortly. But do get used to some really phenomenal savings with Samuel Joseph, because the prices are peachy keen, and feel free to shop around if you want to, because I do not believe you're going to beat these prices anywhere. So this one is $74.99 for a two-tone skeleton Jubilee automatic watch. Oh, sorry, sorry.
That's £210.
I was about to flip it around.
On the screen there.
Yeah.
You've got the skeleton, 162 parts and 21 jewels. You can see the escapement doing its thing there, right in the centre of the screen right now. You've got a bit of lume on the dials, and people love these open heart watches, so you can see what's going on inside them. It's a lovely size as well. It's a 38mm case size, so it's kind of like retro, going back to the 60s and 70s.
It's almost a bit steampunky, isn't it?
Not everyone wants, these larger diameter watches. So, and the kind of like the Jubilee style strap, and a really comfortable wear as well. Weighs over 100 grams. I mean, it's a nice It's a nice homage, if you like, to some of the amazing brands that cost many, many times that price.
I mean,
oh, look at that.
it's got it. It's, I was going to say, exhibition back, automatic movement, skeleton innards, two-tone. I mean, it's phenomenal for that price. I can't believe. Well, as you say, it's a £210 watch. That's our usual price. It doesn't mean to say it's the usual price in the market. By the way, it could be even higher still. It's a fold-over clasp on the back. I'd say that is a perfect size also to call it unisex.
Well, you certainly can. And 38mm, as I said, were the classic sizes of the 70s. And I prefer that because I don't have the Rob Lock wrist, you see.
Oh.
the Rob Lock wrist is demand. It's
been strengthened over many years.
Does demand a certain kudos of watch.
Well, but I'm not. Even though I'm big and gaudy, I tend not to wear big and gaudy.
No, you're delicate.
I am a delicate soul. I'm a delicate flower.
Yes.
Yeah. I am. Very.
They always say, and when you did the ballet when you were younger.
Yes. I could pas de deux with the best of them.
I bet you could. Yeah.
So that's available, and now we also have in the same. I'm there. Sorry. We also have from Swan and Edgar. This is shall we call it a firm favourite? It really.
It's a superb watch. This is one of the Swan and Edgar. Really flagship watches. It's the World Timer in that startling orange.
Yes.
If you're going to be bold, get an orange watch. It's 51mm size. It's got that Seiko hybrid movement to it, so it's a really high quality movement. And that movement's in some watches that cost many hundreds of pounds. They keep it quiet, but in fact they use the same movements as we are using for that.
But it is
sapphire glass as well. Beautiful presentation.
It's still. You're getting a lot of watch for your money, or as Silo would have said, you're getting a lot of watch for your money.
And you don't get these very often available on sale because they sell out so quickly and they're very hard to make more than a few of them.
Yes.
And it's got the World Timer, so it's got 24 cities around the globe. We'll show how this works later on.
Yeah.
And just the facial, when you see all of those stars of night in the kind of Mars night sky and all of kind of the connotations of the moon and the earth, and we will go to that later and have a look at that watch, but it's a really top quality timepiece.
So blue, grey or orange, now that refers to the face colour. But may I also draw your attention to the presentation box? I mean, if you bought a presentation box like that, I'd expect to pay, 20 quid, something like that, maybe more. Depending on who's selling it. So you've got a whole experience from not just from the unboxing, because often the unboxing, the outside box is a load of old rubbish.
Instagram people make a fortune, and others are available. They make doing the unboxing.
I know. Yeah. Well, here the box itself is a feature.
There we go. Yeah. We are just called for all of you.
Yes. This is just a boxing, not an unboxing. Yeah. So there we are, 297032. Remember, of course, you can order online at ShopOnTV.co.uk. That is our website where you can buy everything you see on the show and a lot more besides too. If, however, you're a traditionalist and you wish to actually talk to somebody on the end of a phone line, we have our UK call centre standing by. Friendly representatives are waiting for your call at 0333 241 241. There are all the watches, and when you go to our homepage, you will see a link to click to the latest shows, and you will click onto tonight's show. It's very obvious how to get there, and look at what we've got in store for you. Oh, have we got the Tourbillon back in stock? I bet we don't have many though. We must have somebody out there who's going around at night with a. What's that thing that a kosh? Is that what they used to call it?
Go on.
Darks.
Where are you going on this one?
Down all the dark alleyways in London, trying to find people who've got these tourbillons, turning their pockets out. Because how are we getting them? I don't know.
They are made in such small numbers, and they're just so the collectors, they really covet that Swan and Edgar tourbillon because it's so pretty.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll get to that a little bit later on. So let's go back to Samuel Joseph for a while, which you are loving. I'm not surprised.
Well, it's such a deal, isn't it? And
it's like
the old multifunctional design.
Yes.
Which take a few minutes. You need a degree in physics or something actually to to actually apply yourself.
Well, I think if you're, I mean, when I was a kid, I loved, do you remember though, they had those digital, this is talking about back in the 80s now, digital watches that had so many different, I mean, the calculator watch was always the classic, because it just had all of that sort of tech built in. And this is, not only is it tech, but it's analog as well. It's old meets new. It's past meets present or future. Now we've got this. Ignore the fact this is flashing.
But it's flashing. But you need to press the button at 8 o'clock.
At 8. Oh no! How am I going to do this backwards? That one. There.
I think that should settle it down.
That's
fine. No, that's fine. That's fine because you've now got the. That's fine. Leave it.
Okay.
It's telling you now 105.
Yeah, and the seconds.
And the seconds. So that's all you're getting.
It's how you set. It's the set function basically.
But if you press it one more time, you'll go to the stopwatch.
No, it's now set. Yeah, I think we're okay.
And you know, it's got all of these. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Let's put it that way.
It's like me. It's got an awful lot crammed into a chunky package.
Yes.
I love that. And the face is so unusual.
Lovely? The Samuel, I like the logo. The Samuel is the crown and the cable.
Anchor.
So it's a nautical theme.
Yes, yes.
And it's all a Samuel Joseph London brand, and it goes back to the ideas of when London was a great port.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's not quite the same anymore. You know, the old anchor and that sort of a ropey S on there. I don't mean that in any.
Well, the Thames, it was one of the busiest seaports.
I think it was the busiest. Actually.
I think it was. Yeah, yeah. All flats now.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, actually, it's always worth doing a boat tour from Westminster Bridge or from the London Eye, all the way down to Greenwich.
I have done that. It's
so nice.
It can get choppy.
It can, yeah.
Yeah,
it can.
quite surprising.
But London spent millions and millions of pounds illuminating all the buildings on the embankments of either side of the Thames. So I'll tend to do it this time of year, get the boat down in the afternoon when it's light, go have a few pints or a bite to eat in Greenwich.
Prospect of Whitby, is it?
Yeah. Yes, that's it. Yeah. And then get the
other pubs are available.
Other pubs are indeed available, and I've tried them all. And then come back when it's dark, and it's a phenomenal thing. Nice and chunky, big silicon strap,
16
comfortable,
deep. I mean, it's really a lovely sports watch.
Yes.
And it's kind of splash. Let's make this clear. It's splash proof. It's not something you want to go in the shower with.
No.
But it's at 3 ATMs water resistant.
Fair enough.
Technically.
Yeah. But it certainly makes a bold statement. I have to say, although I do love the black, I
like the red.
I like the red too.
It really does.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, as the sun's coming out again, to wear that with a Hawaiian shirt, you can imagine.
A Hawaiian shirt?
That would be great.
Do you wear Hawaiian shirts? Yeah, exactly. And stand on street corners reading a newspaper surreptitiously. $59.99. I remember the days, I used to call them garage watches. Do you remember, you know, if your watch broke, you could pop into the local petrol station or petrol station watches, and for 15 quid, you could get a really cheap digital watch. Yeah. But I mean, when you think, they're probably more like 30 quid now, I would think, these days.
Probably are.
If you could even still buy them.
They won't have these functions on as well. No. So if you do want the stopwatch, you want the alarm. I tried the alarm. It's really simple once you know how to do it.
Yes,
right? You're pressing buttons, and then you set the alarm.
There are instructions.
Of course,
yes,
and there's a backlight.
Oh.
So at night time, you just press. You won't be able to see it on camera, but if you press as you're saying, the 10 o'clock button, then at night you can see the time. But you've got 2 time zones. It's quite handy for that.
Well, you can see it's doing something, even though it's it is handy. Being the international jet setters that we are, David, to have the dual time. But the younger generation will love this. It will be an amazing gift, I think, for someone's birthday, Christmas, any time of year, really. But for 60 quid, also, if you haven't got yourself a decent timepiece. And these really are fashion statements that just happen to have the function.
They are fashion, you know, they're called designer watches.
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason why, we're getting a price like that is because this is the launch. So joining us, this is the very first time we've ever seen Samuel Joseph on
ShopOnTV, yeah.
TV. I don't think it's been shown anywhere.
On TV? No, I don't think so. I don't think it has. 495 P&P, and by the way, the 495 P&P is capped, so you can add as many watches as you like to your basket, and it's 495, excuse me, per order. So once you check out, it will restart and then you start a new 495, but you could put 58 watches in tonight if you wanted. So we will go through everything literally as much as we possibly can in the course of the show, right the way up till 3 a.m. live. And if you would like to participate, you're very welcome to email us, studio@shopontv.co.uk. Maybe just like me, or somebody who doesn't like to make a choice. It's like, well, I want both. And you know what? That is your God-given right, or at least it's your Shop on TV given right. So for 120 quid, you can actually get both of them and still save £80 off of our usual price for one. Know what I mean?
Yep.
So there we have it, and there all of the images are on there in more detailed form, and just add them to your basket. Do remember to check out though, if you don't pay, they're not coming, no matter how long you wait. Because I ordered a Ferrari and I didn't pay, and it still hasn't arrived.
Oh, that's tragic.
I know, it is, it really is.
Probably lost your place in the queue.
I possibly have. I possibly have. I'll have to start. Well, when it comes to it, I decided it's okay because I wanted an Aston Martin anyway. Now, as one does, I'm an Aston and Range Rover man, me, you see. And if I want a little run around for fun, a Mini. Yeah. Now, these are just gobsmackingly great. I love the black on this. The sort of
these are dress watches, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
43mm case size with the fluted bezel.
Fluted
we
bezel?
love the fluted bezel because
yes.
Originally invented by that famous Swiss manufacturer I won't mention.
Mr. Flute.
Mr. Flute. And the idea was that was the way they screwed the crown on.
Ah, right.
So it gave purchase to be able to.
Yes, yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
But Roman numerals, really classic. These are quartz watches. There's a stopwatch function to them as well. You've got the date, and you've got that stainless steel strap to it, two-tone, and also that black IP. Which the reason they do IP is to give it more protection.
Right.
So it's a tiny amount of titanium nitrate that's deposited in a vacuum that provides protection to the stainless steel strap.
I see.
So again, the price,
Well,
I mean, we're not going to see these prices again, really. This is the very first time we've ever seen Samuel Joseph.
And I have to say, there are a lot of elements here that I would not expect on a, well, again, we can't call it a £70 watch. It's really a £205 watch. So actually, for 205 quid, yeah, they're not printed numerals. They're actually applied, applique, if you will. And just the sweeping second hand and all of the other functionality baked in, but you're getting it for £69.99. It's just amazing. Or a ticking second hand.
Yes, it's quartz, so it will tick.
Yeah, it will tick.
We're going to see a sweeping second hand later, though. We are.
Yes,
I guarantee it.
It's my eye. Do you know, my eyes have got to that point where I can't see anything these days. Lucky I managed to find my way into the studio, if I'm being honest. But I really, really love everything about it. The metal borders around the inner circular.
It's got mineral glass. I mean, this sort of price range, they'd have a plasticky glass.
Yeah.
Mineral glass. It's scratch resistant. It's very, very stylish to wear. You've got a choice of 2 colours, and I really think that is a wonderful.
David, I'm going to have to interrupt you. Your microphone has stopped working, so we're going to get you a new one if that's all right. But I shall carry on instead. So this, obviously, you just decide. They've got a good weight to them as well. I would have expected them to be really sort of tinny and lightweight for this price. They are not. The two-tone also goes all the way around, even to the buttons and the winder. It's got a real dimension to it, which unfortunately we can't show on television that well, because of course television is two-dimensional. But when you actually see these in person with your own eyes, they have a real a layered look. The face is multiple layers, and there's something really classy about this, which I have to say the TV does not do justice. I mean, it's one of those watches that you almost wouldn't or couldn't put a price on it. It looks like you spent a lot of money on it, basically. And at 205 quid, I would consider to be, if you're going to buy a serious watch, if you're going to buy a proper watch, 200 quid really is your entry level price, I would say, and then it goes up from there. But to get something of that equivalent value with £130 off, again, you could, if you love both the colours, You could buy both of them, and that would set you back a mere £140, and you'd still be saving £65 off of the price that one will normally cost you. So, I mean, you've got so much variety tonight, but you've also got so many options in terms of actually starting. You could start a whole collection of Samuel Jones tonight. Different occasions, different days of the week, different months of the year, just different moods. You know, 70 quid doesn't go very far these days. I mean, a pint of beer in London at the moment is about 9 quid on average. So, you know, that's an afternoon out for me. A meal. Do you know what? I'm not going to say which. There is a fast food restaurant, a very famous one, that sells hamburgers. Billions have been served. And I went to order, we got home, we had to get the night bus home last night because the taxis were just, for some reason, ridiculously expensive. So my son and I, we got back at about 5:15 in the morning. So it was now, the menu had switched over to breakfast. For 2 sausage and egg type sandwiches that they make, and for 3 hash browns for each of us, was £30. It was £15 just for hash browns. And I said to my son, I said, I love you dearly, but I am not paying £15 for 7 hash browns. And so I didn't order in the end. I mean, utterly ludicrous. But instead we went to his favourite burger place that was open, and we got a feast for half the price. $69.99 is the price for these. These are a feast for your eyes, a feast for your soul, a feast for every corner of your being, at a price that does not break the bank. As they say, the champagne lifestyle for beer money. That's how Gemma, our producer, loves to live. She looks like she's earning millions with her wardrobe, the wardrobe, the way she carries herself, all of her accoutrements, but she just knows how to do it on a budget. Now, is David back with us?
I think I might be back.
Hello, David.
Isn't that wonderful? I've just been down to that burger place to, I had a very small one.
Did you have a good
Yeah,
word
and it was
with
still
them?
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know what I found? It's the delivery company, because we have a...
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
We have a pizza place.
But $69.99, think about this, that is, for a watch that's going to last the test of time, because it's an automatic, it's a quartz watch. It's a quartz watch. It's a really great value. And I love the design of that watch, because it's got those elements that go back into history, especially the two-tone bracelet.
As I was explaining just while we were fixing up your technology, the cameras don't do these justice. I know it sounds like a redundant thing to say, but you will be extra. If you love them just seeing them on your telly, you will love them even more, I think, when you see them in person, because they do have just this real dimension and clarity to them. I'm a big fan. You can see it kind of well there. So you've got a step up from the centre of them, the inner ring.
There's a lot of work on there's a lot of work on the dial.
There is a lot of work.
And also, because it's quartz, and one of the things about, with watchmakers, you've got quite a thin case size. So if you turn it to the side, Rob, you can probably show the viewers, not now, but later on, you can actually see how lovely and thin it is, and how it kind of sits on the wrist. And that's a phenomenon of quartz watches, because when you put a mechanical movement in, you have to have a bit of a deeper watch case.
It does sit beautifully on the wrist, it really does. Again, it's a perfect sort of size, even for my chunky hands. Yeah. Again, $69.99. 725-973 is the item number. Do go grab yourself one or two and get yourself a pair. I know typically people will watch till towards the end of the show and then make their minds up at the end. But you can look ahead online, of course, at ShopOnTV.co.uk. And if you just want to get in and get out and get on with your life, then you're more than welcome to do so. And again, if you have any questions, if there's anything we show you that you want to see again, if you look on the website and you're like, Rob, I love the look of that one. Please, can you show that next? We'll go at your pace, ladies and gentlemen. So whatever you want. We're one of the reasons we are live and sitting here at this time in the morning is so that you can interact with us, so that we are able to respond to your needs. And I am your humble servant, and I will do just about anything to make you happy.
And it has done in the past.
Indeed, that's
yes,
right.
He has form.
Shameless I am. But the price was much higher. 921292 is the, oh no, lower, that's right, lower, it was much lower, yeah. 79.99.
Now, this is a lovely additional, because this is automatic, 162 part, 21 joule automatic
These are
movement
weighty as well,
with the ability to see what's going on inside the watch, which is really good. I mean, I think it's 107 grams of weight.
I'm going to pick the black one, okay? I've been told to pick the black one.
Stainless steel, pure stainless steel, protected by that IP we talked about, and the exhibition back.
Can you explain IP for those that don't understand what that is?
Iron, I-O-N, iron, not I-R-O-N, as in Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's actually bombarding atoms at the, what they call a substrate in a vacuum to protect the stainless steel.
Bombarding iron.
You do that all the time, I know.
You do, yeah. Every Saturday morning.
And it's you would know, it's 0.6 of a micron thick. I mean, that thick.
It's plating, it's a different way of doing it.
It's a different way of doing it.
Instead of electroplating.
Yes.
Yes,
and it's 8 times as resilient as the old plating.
Oh, is that right?
So that's why they
rub
do
off.
it. Yeah.
Got it.
Invented by some Americans years ago.
I can't believe, again, this is an automatic movement. So it will wind itself just with your normal everyday wrist movements. Or if you want to, you can put it in a winder. If you wish to invest in one of those. I think we've got some winders online, actually. We did before. Don't know if they're still there. They might be from a different brand, but they will be on the website if you want to go and have a little looky for them. £79.99 down from £220, so saving yourself, again, for £140. I always thought it was rather tough to get these sorts of discounts with watches because, you know,
Yeah, but there's something called an introductory offer. We've heard of these things, haven't we?
Oh, I have heard of that,
Yeah,
yes.
and this is what we're doing. This is what Samuel Joseph are doing, and it's a London brand, and because it's the first time we've ever shown it, you're getting prices that you're not going to see repeated, I guess.
I mean, we'll keep, look, this is Shop on TV, we're all about keeping the prices as low as we can for as long as we can, but they will eventually go up. I mean, usually it's about 4 weeks. When you see like the launch tonight, by law, the prices have to go up to the usual price within 4 weeks.
Right.
So, and then you have to wait a month before they come down again. And when they do come down again, the industry may have moved on. We might not be able to get these for the same cost that we were able to get them for tonight. And that means that the price could be higher than $79.99. So in other words, while we have it, while it's here, while you see it, while you know it's this price, it's about being just a little bit spontaneous and making a decision to say yes and getting it now.
And the additional feature, which is pretty obvious by the way that it's set up, is that the bezel actually does rotate. Now, one of the things that you might think with some of the watches that are less expensive is these bezels are just artificial, you know, they don't do anything. But this one does the business, so you've got the tachymeter function on it. I like the gold because I had a friend once who had one of those gold watches, but it wasn't that one, it was the one that cost 15,000 quid. You know?
I was going to say, it's a very James Bond, this. I feel that if I press a button, it will undo the back of someone's dress.
Yes, it's a very, very stylish, iconic,
my fantasies.
Old design there. And that strap is very famous.
Yeah, for sure. That's quite a watch, isn't it? But they've got a perceived value hundreds, if not thousands of pounds above what they actually cost. So, you know, and this is what I like. You're not buying a knockoff. You're not buying a fake. You're buying a genuine London brand, Samuel Joseph. But they've created watches that have an iconic look to them and a very sort of classic look in this particular case. I'd say this is like going back to the, what would you say, the 60s possibly?
The 60s, yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think the case size on this, because it is I'm thinking 45mm case size, yeah. So it's a classical case size.
I love it. I really love this one. I love the black, but I think the black is like a sort of a modern take on the classic style. I think this you've almost, I mean, look, it's up to you at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, but I think you kind of got to go for the gold with this one, haven't you?
Well, the black is more discreet. You know, not everybody wants to strut their stuff in the way that you do, you know.
Well, that's it. Maybe I'm just a bit too bling.
It could be that people like the bling, and that's fine. Ladies and gentlemen wearing that, very blingy, but the black has got a little bit more kudos.
All right then. Fine.
You think?
I'm out.
I don't know. Is there are we seeing any popularity stakes in this, which is the one that's?
Do you know? I think
we don't know, do we?
What do you prefer, ladies and gentlemen?
If you let us know, we love to hear from you.
I hear you. I see your point of view. I feel you, as
and
they
you disagree with it.
I don't. No, I don't disagree.
But I never have favourites with watches.
I think no, I don't either. And to be perfect, as I say, I very much love the black. It is more discreet. I think it's horses for courses. I'd wear the black, but in a different way. You know, the gold for me is sitting in a lounge bar somewhere, you know, smoking a cigar and drinking a single malt.
Yes, I thought you might have a cigarette holder, in fact.
Or
I can see that.
Yes, I'm not advocating smoking at all.
No.
But, yeah.
You don't actually have to have a cigarette in it. I did say cigarette holder.
That's very true.
Indeed.
No, but I'm saying I did mention cigars. But no, it would be you know, yeah.
But this is an open heart. I mean,
you don't need to smoke at all.
You see all the movements.
You don't need to drink at all. You could have a Coca-Cola. But I'm painting a picture of, like, I was in a film recently called Tetris, which was set in the 80s, and it's very much, you know, the moustaches, the big wing collar shirts, and all that sort of stuff. It's a look, it's an aesthetic that I'm describing. I'm not advocating that you take up bad habits in order to enjoy your watch. I'm just saying, if I were to be taken back in time to an era when people would have sat around in lounge bars with wing collar shirts, smoking cigarettes and drinking scotch, they possibly, or while listening to a piano, probably, and I'm being courted by young ladies with aspirations and ambitions. I think that they would be wearing something like that.
I agree.
It's a total stereotype.
You've sold me.
In every way. But the black doesn't fit with that aesthetic. Do you see what I mean? But as a watch on its own, blooming marvellous.
Yes.
Right. I love doing period pieces. I really do. You're an actor as well, aren't you? I think is that.
It's a little bit of a hobby.
Oh, it's a bit of a hobby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we were doing some things in Cornhill last week. Actually, they had the whole street, and cars were being blown up.
Oh, lovely!
Well, that's great fun. Always good.
Yeah. I love a good period piece.
Yes. Now this is cadet size. So this is a 38mm case size. I tell you what, this has got that. Yeah, because it's got a domed mineral glass.
Can I go one at a time on this? They're essentially the same, except they've got slight differences in the face and the bracelet. So I'll start with this version, which is the two-tone. And look at the back. It's also automatic. Love it. Two-tone skeleton Jubilee automatic watch. New today. Well, they're all new today, basically. I don't know why we've got that graphic on some and not on others. But $74.99 is the price, and $210 is the regular price. So once again, massive savings. Double fold-over clasp with an extra security fastener on top of that, just for good measure. Beautiful piece, isn't it?
And that's 38mm case size. So that is the classic size of the 80s. I mean, again, I can't believe the price, because if you look at the fact you've got that curved mineral glass, and you've got around the bezel of the watch quite a lovely treatment, that kind of chamfered bezel.
Yes, yeah.
And obviously the Jubilee strap, Jubilee, it's called the Jubilee Automatic. And that strap is really sought after as well. And look, you can see the movement inside that watch.
And the jewels. Now, those jewels are on the hour markers as well, or are they just sort of? I think it's a technique that's used to make compressed white metal look like a diamond.
Yes.
Essentially, it's a diamond cutting, basically. But the jewels, I didn't know for years. It's like, why do they put rubies and sapphires and emeralds and things like that into watches?
Yeah.
And it's lubrication, isn't it?
It is.
They don't wear down.
And they do. They last for absolutely ever. I mean, I've got watches 50, 60 years old that are still ticking away beautifully.
Yeah.
So I just love the automatic watch. You know, we're celebrating 100 years of automatic watches.
Are we really?
John Harwood in Bolton invented them in 1924. And then there was a massive patent dispute with this famous Swiss brand. Yes. Which they lost. Did they? And then they had the cheek to start using them in their adverts. Oh, no way. And giving them a name check. Well, after they lost.
After they lost.
Yeah.
Wow, cheeky so-and-sos.
But this has got an exhibition back, hasn't it? So you can see the rotor arm. So for those of you that don't know about automatic watches, and you've always had quartz watches, this is the watch that you don't need to change the battery on. Right. Because something called kinetic energy doesn't have a, you know. And that you see the rotor arm. If you just wiggle it around, Rob, you might see, it's kind of moving.
Yes.
So wearing the watch charges the watch, and you get over a day's worth of charge on it. Yeah. So you can take it off at night and leave it on the nightstand or whatever. Put it on the next day, it still will be ticking away.
Yeah.
And
I say some people do have for automatic watches. You can buy things that rotate them and wind them. So it's it's basically a weighted. It's slightly.
It's called the rotor arm.
The rotor arm, yes. Yeah. It's slightly less than a half of the overall circumference of the watch. So it means as you move, it's free to move, and every time it does, it basically is winding the watch. So just by moving around, waving at somebody, giving them a thumbs up, doing a bit of typing, checking your phone, all of that kind of thing is winding your watch.
Absolutely. And if you look again, it's the way the studio is working those lights. The fascia, what's left of the fascia, because it's skeletonized, is really catching the light well as well. So there is a certain kind of jewelry aspect to this. And I think, as you said, this is very much a unisex.
Yeah.
At the 38mm case size, definitely
I'll wait for when my director comes
everybody.
in, which he's going to do now. So there you can see the
lovely curvature.
There's the dome. Now, hold on, Kieran. I'm going to work with you. So as I can't, it's so critical to get these things focused when you're so close up. Obviously, this is far closer than your eye would ever see. But look at that! Isn't that something else? It's like working in concert with my director. He's got his fingers on the focus knob, and I'm because it's all robotic cameras these days. Don't have camera operators.
But you know that's almost BAFTA level. That I thought, cinematography.
Yeah.
Top drawer.
Yeah, for sure. I will say though that I wish we did have a camera operator. So does my director. Yes. Anyway, I mean, it is a breathtaking. Is that too over the top to say breathtaking? Does it take your breath away? I think it is a bit. It's one of those things that gets you noticed. So I have a philosophy, David.
Yes.
It may be flawed because I'm incredibly shallow, but let's see. That if you didn't ever see anybody else in the world, would you wear jewellery and watches? Yeah. Because I think, even though a lot of people say, yeah, of course, for my own pleasure,
yes.
But I still think there is a percentage of wearing things like this for others to see, because it's an extension of your style. It says a lot about your personality, right? You choose these things because they resonate with you, and when other people see them, they pick up on a certain type of vibe, if you want to call it that, as to the type of person that you are. And in this particular case, it's stylish. As our producer Gemma just said, this gives great vibes.
Yes, it has that almost white gold-esque kind of look about it.
I just made a Californian. I hope that's okay. Oh my God, this gets great vibe.
Yeah.
From the valley.
And it's also got a certain amount. It's over 100 grams in weight, so it's got some weight to it as well.
Do you know what, David?
That price point,
none of these have are what I would call tinny lightweight. You know, sometimes when you see something that looks heavy, and then it's disappointingly light. Well, you can forget that. Put it away to the recesses of the recycle bin in your mind, because these are weighty. They are substantive. They are tactile. They are fulfilling, satisfying.
And you've got a lot of play on that. If you've got a big wrist, so just put it on the wrist. Does it actually fit you comfortably, snugly?
Wrist, big gloves.
Yeah.
More than comfortably. Let me see if I do it up.
Yeah. Is there
yeah. I mean, it's perfect.
Is it just perfect for you?
Just perfect.
And your size, what, an 8-inch wrist have you got?
No, I'm sure with my current size, I'm probably more like a 9.5 or whatever.
Right. So you can size it down, of course.
Yeah.
But as it comes to you, as you can see,
I agree
it fits the Rob Lock.
It fits the Rob Lock aesthetic.
Yeah. Important.
It doesn't look lost on a big wrist. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, it goes great with a suit, but it would look equally good with a t-shirt, pair of jeans, that kind of thing. Lounging by the pool in Lagos with a cocktail in one hand, I mean, let's face it, nobody needs a watch these days. Everybody's got one on their phone, and I don't know anyone who isn't surgically connected.
And then, why is it then that so many more people are buying watches than ever did before?
Well, exactly.
So since the phones have come in, people are buying more and more watches. There was a crisis before that in 1980s where people weren't buying watches.
Oh, was that really?
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, and then suddenly people said, oh, we don't have much to distinguish ourselves now with other things. So we only, we need something.
Well, everyone's become.
And the watch has become the statement. People collect watches now.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's exactly where I was going with that.
Yeah.
And I think also, certainly speaking as, okay, I've got to be careful how I say this. Speaking as a man, myself, I remember when I was younger that I and my generation wore a lot of gold. Mm-hmm. So it was the gold signet ring with the onyx, or maybe a diamond if you were lucky, the gold bracelet, the gold chain, it was all of that kind of thing, and a watch. I've noticed that as the years have worn on, that look seems to have largely gone away. You don't see as many, actually a lot of it's flipped over to white metals. If you do see guys now with necklaces, they tend to be a white.
They're not gold anymore.
They're not gold anymore. Now, maybe I could be completely wrong about all of this, but that's my observation.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's left us with, well, what do we wear? And I think that the watch is an item of jewellery for a man.
Yeah.
And now for women as well, of course. But I don't. Women wear jewellery still in all different varieties and shapes and sizes and colours and styles. And that's always has been the case and hasn't changed. So a watch is just an extension of what they're already wearing. But for men, we don't tend to wear a lot of jewellery these days, unless you're going.
There's hardly anything. Cufflinks if you are wearing a formal shirt.
Yes.
You don't see the medallions anymore.
No.
But the watch is definitely there, and I think that it's a distinguishing thing because again, people aren't wearing ties anymore either.
No, this is.
So ties used to be an individual thing.
I even went away from formal shirts and suits because of this sort of. I'm going to get some crew necks as well, but I think it's sort of smart casual has become the way, hasn't it? You know what I mean? The LA costume or the LA outfit is always
the Don Johnson.
Formal, the formal shirt and jacket, jeans, and formal shoes. Dress shoes.
So we're moving to Swanega now, and we're actually up a notch because this World Timer is a phenomenal package because it has a hybrid. It says Mecha Quartz. So that to explain,
please.
It's Seiko, right? So Seiko, the top of the industry for this. The engine in this watch is a combination of mechanical elements and quartz elements. So firstly, you've got an accuracy of better than 20 seconds a month, which is phenomenal accuracy. And then you've got the joy of mechanical. So if we give the pusher at 2 o'clock, Rob, can you give it a squeeze?
I daren't move a thing at the moment. Maybe you can reach in and do it.
I can reach in and do it.
It's going to ruin the focus.
There we are. And now you can see it. Now you can see that ticking.
Yes.
And the point we were saying before, and as we talk about the idea of quartz, is that quartz goes tick-tock, doesn't it? But this mechanical drivetrain is actually 5 beats a second going through, and that is the mechanical element inside that watch. And if you know your watches, you know what you're getting here. You're getting a superb kind of like top-end Seiko movement at a really great price. But then you've got all these space themes as well. So 51mm case size, the starry night sky, diamond-etched indices, sapphire glass, stainless steel strap. We're weighing nearly 190 grams. These are far more substantial.
They really are,
as watches.
This is the blue one, by the way.
We've got 3 different colours.
Do you know, just out of interest, I just happened to be watching QI the other day, and watches and clocks don't actually go tick-tock. They go tick-tick, tick-tick-tick. It's something to do with the brain.
I think it's to do with the mouse going up the
clock.
The clock. Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's something to do with the brain. It's an auditory illusion, basically, on repetitive sound.
Not a lot of people know that.
Not a lot of people know. I'm a whiz at parties, David.
But there you go.
Oh, hello.
This is the Nebula Grey. Look, now, this was specially commissioned. There's not many of these being made because it's kind of looking at the kind of space through the Hubble telescope, that sort of thing. It's really lovely. And you've got 24 hours at 6 o'clock. You've also got the 24 cities around the world where we can actually set the time and we can look at the time in New York or the time in Paris or whatever. And you've got South Georgia, you've got all of those cities. And you've got a substantial, for 51mm case size, it's substantial. It works on your wrist. In my view, this is the size of watch for you. So this is how it works. So we got my assistant here to move London to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And then you can see the time in the Azores is 2400 hours, dare I say it, in Puerto Rico it's 2100, Chicago 1900. So you've got all of those places, Sydney 11 o'clock in the morning. It's a great talking point, and we love our gadgets, guys. We do, we do, and this does, that delivers, 100% delivers.
Restricted solely to
when you get it in that fabulous box, well, guys unisex. Guys unisex, isn't it?
Yes.
I think Americans are. They say hi, guys, and they mean, don't they?
I suppose they do.
I thought it was. Anyway, so we've got a really great close-up on that as well.
Whatever you decide you want to buy because you like the look of it.
And you've got Super Luminova, folks. And Super Luminova is a Swiss luminous material.
Swiss luminous material.
Which means you can tell the time at night as well. Isn't that great?
And that's usually the time when I need to know it.
Yeah.
More than any other time.
I don't think night exists for you, does it?
Not really.
No.
No. I hate this time of year because, well, night exists all the time.
But not for sleeping.
No, because now it's going to get to the point where we'll walk out the studio at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:15, then the sun will be up.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit of a vampire, may I have to say. I do love this. There's something otherworldly about it. Well, as we've already discussed, quite literally, but also in a sort of ethereal way too, if that makes sense.
Now, when we had the orange originally, it just sold out. Because we didn't make many of them, and if you look at that orange, the idea is it's the Mars night sky, and you can see the flecks of silver inside that. Look, catching the light now.
Yes.
And we get this home, you get that in the presentation box, and you think, my goodness, I've got a one. We got such great feedback on this watch, I have to tell you.
Well, of course, the main feedback is that people buy it in droves.
But they write about it as well.
Oh, do they really?
Oh, yeah.
How many have we actually got, Gemma? We've got 10 of each colour, that's it. And that's possibly it and all about it. I don't know whether if more will come back after that. There may be others that we can source, but we can't always guarantee it. And these things take time. I hate to be. I'm not a pushy person by nature, but I do suggest that when you see something you like, you buy it because A, it may not come back, and B, if it does, it might be at a higher price. And when we were setting up ShopOnTV, the whole point of it is that we will do our best to quash the prices as much as possible and get everybody at home the best value we can. But they are, as our promos often tell you, generally for a limited time. So it is something to remember. Even though these shows tend to be a bit more sedate, a bit more sort of, what's the word? A little bit more. I can't think. They're not a rushy type of show.
No, you are the consummate. You're the consummate professional on this, Rob. I admire so much the fact we just discuss these watches and phenomenally people buy them. Isn't that nice?
Well,
without actually having to push them too much. And look at we're just if you turn it around so we can look at the back of the watch as you're doing right. You can see that there is the moon landing on the back, and because this year
to know what I'm looking at,
we're going to see. I don't know when exactly the man or woman's going to land on the moon again.
Oh yeah, that's
right. But that is the original moon landing there, and it's in a deeply etched stainless steel.
Yeah.
Great talking point as well. By the way, these come with 5-year warranty.
Do they?
Which is industry-leading warranties.
I could undo the clasp, I suppose.
You've got this dual deployment clasp there, so classy, and now you can see that deeply etched stainless steel doing its stuff. And I just think, what a great gift, because you're getting the gift packaging as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I think for anyone who loves aerospace or space travel, I can tell you for a fact that I would love to be a time traveller. If they're I'll say this over the airwaves because maybe in the future, I'm the real Doctor Who. That's in my brain. That's the way I'm going. But I do believe that maybe in the future they'll pick up on this broadcast, and then at some point they'll come and enlist me. That's the idea. It
might happen because that now it's been working with Disney and BBC. it's going to go completely bonkers because it's going to have such an audience.
Yes, yes, quite. Well, please don't get me started on that, because I have genuinely always wanted to play the Doctor. That's been my ambition for years, and I don't think it will happen.
Have you got the scarf?
No. No,
well, that's probably why you didn't get it.
That's probably why I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I did write to the BBC, because the three doctors have written to the BBC and got their jobs as a result. Capaldi, Tom Baker, and I forget who the other one. I think to an extent, David Tennant. No, but there were two. All right, two then. There were definitely two. David Tennant's the only Doctor who did an audition for the role, as far as I'm aware. But the BBC, they replied. They did write back, you know. But they'd already chosen Ncuti Gatwa, and I mean, I'm not even close to the list of people that would play the role. But everyone's told me all my life that I'd play it, that I'd be really good at it.
It's on your Wikipedia entry, is it, saying that Rob Lock really does want to do that?
No, good Lord, no. I haven't looked at my Wikipedia page for years. Goodness,
probably
knows what it says.
Not a good idea to look at it. I don't think.
£159.99. I just absolutely love this. And actually, so my director just said that, you know, that my suggestion wouldn't work because that's not how temporal mechanics work. But if we really want to get into it, there is no such thing as time. It's a man-made construct. So if you want to get into the quantum aspect of it, we can do that. But I don't know if we've got time to do that.
I don't think so. And as time is not a real construct, I think we should carry on with the watches.
I think you're absolutely right.
You know, because
we'll debate
we've got more to see.
What I was going to say is we're going to play a couple of little informational videos for you to give you a chance to check out, place your order and so on. And if you've just tuned in for the first time, this is your shopping show on ITV1 and STV. You can watch these things, but you can also buy these things.
There are 3 convenient ways to place your order with ShopOnTV. Just scan the QR code with your smartphone's camera app to view the current on-screen item. Or go directly to our website, ShopOnTV.co.uk, where you'll find all the products in today's show. Simply add the items you want to buy to your online shopping basket and check out. Prefer ordering by phone? Give our UK-based customer service centre a call on 03333 241 241. Friendly representatives are available to assist you 24 hours a day. Straightforward shopping with ShopOnTV. ShopOnTV broadcasts live across the nation every night from midnight to 3, exclusively on ITV1 and STV. Away from your television, we've got you covered. The live broadcast is also streamed on our website, ShopOnTV.co.uk, and on our YouTube channel at ShopOnTV Live, where you can catch up on anything you've missed. Our nightly show features a carefully curated collection of must-have items at budget-friendly prices. Many of our TV offers are only available for a limited time, or while stocks last. So before you go to bed, why not make it your nighttime ritual to tune in and check out the latest and greatest before it's too late. ShopOnTV, outstanding quality, remarkable value and tremendous savings. Every night from midnight to 3 on ITV1 and STV.
So I basically said, don't do that or you'll burn the rim.
Oh, well, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Next time.
Next time. You're watching Shop on TV with me, Rob Lock, with an E, and...
David Anthony, without an E.
No. But it did rhyme. Rob Lock with an E, and...
David Anthony.
Exactly. Well done, you see.
Wow.
Double act. We'll be doing vaudeville in no time.
We certainly will, yes. I've got the scripts already.
Good.
Right.
I need one of those.
So we're going to talk about this wonderful Hasten, which is a 210 parts, 21 jewel movement, 20 jewel movement, 45 millimeter case size, 15 millimeters deep, with the Cornwall Bridge. You've been waiting, I know, Sakura, I think, has been waiting for the Cornwall Bridge all day.
I know I have.
Written in.
Yeah.
And because this has got the day and the date as well, it's a Swan and Edgar, so it's got that 5-year warranty to it. It's got first layer leather strap with the accenting red flashes on it. I love the inverted pushers. Lots of lovely design work on the face. Contemporary, this is this year's watch, so it's almost brand new. I think we saw it a month ago. And you've got that open heart so you can see how the whole thing works.
Now, we did get an email, and I hope I'm not murdering your name here, and please forgive me. Is it Sukara? Is that correct?
We hope so.
that's correct. I
Yes.
do apologise if I mispronounced it. And what did Sakara say? That he wanted to see this watch. Sakara, you didn't even have to, or did you? Are we showing this because he asked?
Yeah.
There you are. You see, we responded. Isn't that great? And you're more than welcome. And anyone else who wants to see a particular watch, just drop us an email, studio@shopontv.co.uk. You can have a look at our website, and if you're like, I want to see that one, then you just let us know and we will do just that. Now, this comes in brown, rose brown or rose blue. What is rose blue?
It's not. It's a rose. What it is the case is rose.
I see.
So what the Americans call rose tone.
Rose tone.
Rose tone, which we call IP rose.
I see.
That is not, a lady somewhere around the back.
IP Rose.
IP Rose.
IP Rose.
Who serves a great pint in the local pub. But it's iron plating again. We talked about that earlier, the way that you protect the watch and give it that gold, little bit of gold in it.
Secretly owns the pub and the entire empire.
It certainly, and you've got, again, you've got lovely choices of colour here, that dark, really lovely dark blue and brown, brown is very trendy right now. That's why we've got the brown version.
Yes.
But, the classics amongst you will go for the blue, I'm sure, with the blue flashes on the first leather strap. Those leather straps are all hand waxed as well. And
are they really?
The watches are all, the swan anchors are all hand assembled. So they're made in very few numbers.
If someone said, here's 130 quid, put that together, I'd tell them where to get off.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazing when you
LTED means limited edition, by the way.
Yes.
It's just a little bit reduced in concept there.
And this, remember, it is more hasten, less speeding to buy these.
Yes.
That was my attempt at an intellectual joke.
Oh, I thought it was very good, yes.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I'm sure you do Times crossword every morning.
Of course, yeah, 6 minutes is my record.
Yes.
Yeah. To decide not to do it. I love it. Do you know what? I've never done a crossword in my life.
I've never had a crossword in my life.
Oh, have you not? Oh, never a crossword spoken, eh?
Yeah, indeed.
No, I love puzzles, though. I do love puzzles. It's because I've never bought a paper. I think that's why it is.
Yeah, well, I used to get them after I'd finished the chips.
Well, that's what in that case,
what
I
it
suppose.
used to work.
I've seen a paper, I've just not read it.
Mostly I used to get the Exchange and Mart, actually.
Exchange and Mart, no, I did get that.
But they kept on changing the subject.
And Loot, do you remember Loot?
Yes.
That's still around.
Yeah.
And I did get the old Spotlight magazine, which could be an actor, And no, what was it called? The Stage.
Oh,
Stage magazine. I
Yes.
used to go and check through the back to see what jobs were available. Yeah.
Back to the watches.
Yes.
Yes.
I used to buy watch magazines. Yeah.
So this watch is really quite new, and the design is very modern. By that I mean you've got different size Arabic numerals at the top, and they haven't filled in all the Arabic numerals because we're trying to be windswept and interesting in the way we put it together.
Windswept, I like that.
You like that? Yes. Yeah. And it's got the Swanlega 210 part 20 jewel movement, which is kind of like phenomenal. And you've got the rotor arm there showing you it's an automatic watch with all that Fibonacci detail, and the watchmaker saying, I like to see some of my work here. You can see some of the cogs and wheels that you turn, and that's called a pumpkin crown.
Is it?
Now, we all covet a pumpkin crown now and again.
Yes. What's so special about a pumpkin crown?
Well, it's just one of those things that's classic.
Oh, I see.
In the way that crowns,
is it denoting the shape, or?
Yeah.
It was apparently put on pocket watches so that pilots could grip them more easily.
There you see. It's amazing what we know.
I know.
And the pumpkin crown is one of, if you go online, you can see there's a variety of different crown treatments.
I suppose, if you did have gloves on, it would be tough to give it a wind, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But then you don't need to wind it, obviously, because it is an automatic, but to adjust the time. So that is your brown.
And it's got a really lovely
you
thick
did
strap
need
to it as well.
This one was made upside down. Sometimes you get a faulty one. All you've got to do, it's very simple to fix it. You just turn it that way, you see.
You really have come on since last time. I mean, before you would have had the whole presentation with it one way round.
No, I know. It's because my eyesight's gone, I'll tell you, mate.
Yeah.
But also now, having worked with you a few times, I know that if I go off on a tangent, when you feel that you need to bring it back to the watches, you do. And so I think now we have this great equilibrium.
We are building a relationship that will go down in the annals of watch presentation history.
They will. They'll write about us.
Talk about Roblox, the Roblox style.
Roblox style.
It's going to be, you know, one of those acting styles.
That's it. Yeah, be taught in school.
Different methods.
The Roblox method.
Yes.
The lock method. I do have my own method, actually. I was going to, before I got this job, I was going to start an acting school.
That would have been interesting.
I was, yeah. You know, classes, acting, because I used to teach in a very prestigious studio in Los Angeles, but they don't have that sort of thing over here.
Oh.
And I would have thought that the methods that are employed for getting film and TV work in Los Angeles would be useful over here. It's all 2-year conservatory programs and things like that. But anyway, I digress. And still, you haven't brought me back to the watches, so I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah. Well, you see,
So
it's like giving if you give a dog a treat often enough, they do things without actually.
Oh, yeah, yes. I thought I heard
Pavlov.
I was going to say I thought I heard a little bell ring.
Yeah, and so looking here at
like
the
the
fascia of that watch, you can see all those little dimples.
Yes, they're very dimply.
And that's sometimes called as part of the detail of the watch, something that it costs a lot to do, and that's what Swan&Edgar actually, because they have a design team in London.
Right.
And the chap that runs it is Tony Fields, and he's such an expert in putting together the various different designs.
Yeah.
And every time they make a run, the runs are very small. So when you say, oh, I like that watch, and then suddenly it's not available anymore.
Well, that's why, because they are made in limited quantities, you need to buy them quickly. And also the prices are for limited times. But I like unnecessary design, because it's like, you know, I've had this a lot myself. When I've designed something and everyone's gone, yeah, it's very nice, but it's going to cost a fortune to make.
Yes.
And they're not prepared to go to the expense to make the design come to life. But Swan&Edgar are.
Yeah.
They will go the extra mile. If it looks good, then almost it's spare no expense to actually make it happen.
It takes 6 months to actually get a watch from the drawing board into your hands.
I can believe it.
It's a long process.
Yeah.
All those prototypes and things.
But it pays off.
Yeah.
It pays off. But speaking of long processes, something that has taken years and years and years really ultimately to produce in terms of its conception, or its invention and then conception, is the limited edition tourbillon. We only have probably 1 or 2 of each of the different colours. Now, yes, they are £999 and 99 pence. There are 2 of each, but they are half price. I apologise, we haven't got our PayPal back yet, or our multi-payments. Hopefully they will come back soon. We are very aware about that, and probably within the next month to 2 months, we will have lots of different payment options for you. So look, it's to put it on a credit card, or if you've got the money available in the bank account. Obviously, this is not going to be for everyone, but this is a really, really prestigious watch in numerous ways, with a very special floating movement, the tourbillon movement, which David is going to explain in incredibly
laborious detail.
Yes,
we're hopefully we're not going to put you to sleep as we describe the whole thing.
But this is, again, a presentation. Look at this. It comes in this absolute whopper of a beautiful presentation box with a gold tone clasp. You open up the box. It is a wooden box as well, by the way, with this beautiful velveteen padded interior, hand stitched. And in the middle you get the watch itself, and you'll get obviously your certificate and all of your information and gubbins will all be in that presentation box too. It is, I mean, look, it's a prestigious watch. It's like if you go and buy a prestigious car, you get all of the accoutrements with it, don't you?
Yes.
You get your driving gloves and your, I don't know, your special Ferrari scarf or whatever it is.
You know, when you start to present this watch, it's kind of like, it's that moment where you're about to present the Oscar.
Yeah.
And you're just going to do a little bit of preamble on the actor, and you reel off all the things that the actor has achieved.
Achievements, yeah.
And with this watch, it's 30 watchmakers performing over 450 processes, assembling 322 parts and 19 jewels to put together a masterpiece of horological time that goes back to the origins of Louis Abraham Breguet, who was the best watchmaker in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who made a tourbillon for King George. He made 30 tourbillons in his life, and he couldn't have dreamt of making this, because this is a fusion of all of these people's skills and the evidence of computers and
precision equipment.
precision equipment
Yes,
to actually hone together and make the parts. So this is called a flying tourbillon. The back that Rob is showing you now shows you some elements of the design. It's a design that should be in the Tate Modern. I think it's so beautifully executed. The curvature and the way that, oh, look at that, that's really gorgeous, great work there. And you can see it's 316 stainless steel, of course, 42mm case size, sapphire glass, 42-hour power reserve on that watch. If you are, I mean, everyone that buys a tourbillon on ShopOnTV, and we have, that has happened in the past.
These do sell out. I know that they're
do their
expensive,
research.
but there are people there that've got $1,000 in the back pocket.
You'll be looking at now on the search engines and say, oh yes, there's a couple of videos that we've put up as well that show you how the thing works and discusses how it works, because it's a talking point beyond talking, but people really can never afford a tourbillon because they were thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. And tonight you have this opportunity, just a penny under £1,000, to own a piece of horological history.
But saving 1,000 as well.
Indeed.
And as you say, if you were to go, I mean, our usual price is not necessarily indicative of the rest of the market. It is sometimes in line with the market, but it's often lower. So you are getting a true saving here. I mean, and it is a marvel of modern engineering, really, this, isn't it, to be perfectly frank.
And
I mean, there's no, you haven't got some robot putting these together.
No, and the way the design is, I mean, the kind of the delicacy,
on a production line,
you can see how delicate those hands are. And you can imagine the watchmaker assembling it and just, delicately putting the hands together. And inside, there's 80 parts in the movement in the centre, that open heart.
And they all have to be precision made, and they're tiny.
And it's rotating through 360 degrees every minute. And that's what the tourbillon's about. It's negating the forces of gravity. So the idea was that watches were getting errors through being in one position.
Right, right.
And Breguet had this idea of rotating it through 360 degrees.
Yeah.
And it worked to an extent, but it's more an essay in the creation of something that's hard to do.
Yes, yes.
Than it is about making it more precise.
I don't think that's going to fit my wrist, but I will have to adjust the strap on it, I imagine.
You can adjust the strap. I mean, we can take one of the others and I can adjust it for you if you want.
Okay.
It can be done.
Yeah, I was just, I mean, I've half closed it.
Yeah.
The trouble is, if I fully closed it, I might never get it off again. And I would probably have to leave the studio.
And I think you might like that, actually, Rob.
This is one of those things where I'm just, do you want to hear something ridiculous?
Go on.
So when we finish at 3 o'clock in the morning, I typically, the only way I can get home, because there are no trains, I did just discover the night bus, which I had to take home last night, which is not too bad. I'm probably going to do that. £1.75. Yeah. But it costs me usually every day £35 to £50 to get an Uber back from the studio to where I live. But because there's been a lot going on and we've been doing pre-recorded shows during the days for all, it's been a busy month. Mm-hmm. I totaled up that I spent £1,000 this month on Uber.
Wow.
And I just thought to myself, what is wrong with me?
I could have bought this watch.
I just got the
I see where you're going there,
But for some reason, there's no night bus tonight.
Yes.
So if I can't get an Uber tonight, I can't get home.
Oh,
I'm going to have to sleep in the studio until
I get the night tube. The night tube is very efficient.
Yeah, but
it doesn't go to where you live.
Doesn't go to where I need to get to, yeah. I'll figure it out. I'll walk if I have to. It's only 8 miles. $999.99. But yeah, I could have bought this instead in this month.
So tourbillon is French for whirlwind. Yeah. And the reason why Breguet called it a tourbillon is because in astronomy, tourbillon actually means solar system. But everyone got excited about whirlwind rather than solar system. And when King George III, he ordered a tourbillon, he said it has to be all, of course, he was a bit German in ancestry, but so he said it has to be a bit British.
Right.
So all of the components had to be named in English. So his watch actually has on the back of it whirlwind rather than tourbillon.
Can I show the other colours very quickly? So this is the blue. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to try and get that off there. I'll keep that there as a placeholder. Here's the red. You'll know that it's red on account of the fact that it's
magma red. We're calling it. And remember seeing all of those volcanic eruptions in Iceland. It's got that kind of connotation of angry red. But the colouring, you see that the fume dal there, that is a very difficult process. They have to put it into a machine and give it coating after coating after coating to actually produce that shimmering finish to it. And that's why the watch is a £2,000 watch, because there's so much going on inside it. And all the materials are first-class materials as well. So it's a great acquisition for your collection. And I know that anyone who's going to buy this is going to do that's space green. Space green. So again, you know, with space tourism, people going up into you know, paying the £200,000 as they do for the ticket. You've got the fusion between night and day, and that is that colour there. And look at that.
And remember, of course, it all comes in that superb presentation box. Oh, me buckle from my belt sticking in my belly. Sorry. Ow. Oh, I can't wait to show you the next one. Oh, I like that. I like that. Oh, have I seen this before? I don't think I have.
No, you haven't.
No. Oh, look, yes. I like this one.
So the Oasis,
obviously I prepared thoroughly before we came on the air.
Yeah, so this
but then my mind deleted, it was such an experience.
Yeah.
My mind deleted it so I could repeat the experience all over again.
And you did it really well, I thought.
I'm going to get this one. I am going to get this one. I love this. I absolutely love this. Oh, wow. Now that's a little bit snug on my wrist there. That's definitely going to cut the circulation off. But look at that. Yeah. Woof.
So,
now, I mean, that's gold on a whole nother level, isn't it?
There's a lot going on in this watch because it's a classic Swan & Edgar design. I'm really surprised that we had any of these to show you, and I don't think we got many at all.
That's
the honeycomb design
lovely.
there. So you think about how that dial's put together. You've got the luminous battens, day, date, month, 6-second timer, and the beautiful emerald green and the cream colour contrast between the two. Burnished bezel, so a bit of hard work going on to that, and then you're applying the
with
protection.
Detail as well, I know.
Etched it, yeah, and a lovely dual deployment clasp, pure stainless steel strap. It's an automatic watch for that price.
I think really my money is going to part with my bank account tonight on this one. That's really, it's very 70s. Oh, it's not got an exhibition back.
No.
But I do like this very much. Very sort of the 70s and 80s. I mean, I'm a big 80s and 90s.
The colour combinations were nicely here, and I've got to say about Swan & Edgar, because they've got the 200-year tradition, and I mean, the shop was just down the road here, you know.
Yeah.
Not even a parasang from here. Just a few.
A parasang.
A parasang, yes. That's a Iranian measurement term. Yes, indeed.
Roughly how big is it?
It's actually 4 kilometres.
4 kilometres.
About. It's meant to be a sort of what a man would walk before he needed to rest. It's a military thing, parasang.
Really?
You get it in Jeeves and Worcester. That's why one of the great things.
Oh, yes. Oh, I love that.
Bertie says that. Not just the parasang away. Anyway, this beautiful watch has the kind of contrast between black and those gold tones. And it's because Swan & Edgar, you see, when they were a department store in Piccadilly, they had royal warrants for silk and other drapery substances. And they had this concept of colour and colour combinations. And Tony Fields, who designs his watches, really understands that. He understands how to make it really be unusual and different. So you won't have seen a watch like that anywhere.
No.
I guarantee that you can't find them, and there's so few of them made.
I don't know why. For some reason, it's giving me a musical vibe. I think it's almost like a gold disc type of feel to it. For me, that's like a record. That's what I'm getting from it anyway. 150 quid. It's down from 205. That has got to be a favourite. And what do the buttons do?
So they're simply for setting the date and time. They're not. It's not like a stopwatch.
No.
Because this is an automatic watch.
Yeah. Beautiful case size. This is almost like the classic retirement watch, isn't it? Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll buy one and then I'll retire.
And this is 163 parts, hand assembled. 20
Don't
joules
jump in
again.
and stop me, David, please.
No, carry on.
No, I mean, don't jump in and stop me from retiring.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is it today? No.
Well, no.
I didn't realise.
No, I said I might buy this.
Otherwise,
and retire.
we would have made.
And
it
I thought,
I thought that was a hint.
Expecting you to go, no, Rob, you can't possibly retire.
I'm always, there's freedom of freedom.
I'll retire from everything except acting. I'd happily die on a stage or on a film set somewhere.
Well, think about that. How many?
I've died many times.
Yeah,
but not for real.
No.
How many actors can what?
No, I mean, how many actors carry on? They all do, don't they? I don't think that they won't give up on a part. I mean,
you're not a serious
some
actor.
Some of our wonderful actors carry on until they're really quite old.
Because it's a calling, it's a passion. It's if a genie appeared now and gave me one wish, it would be to go and be on a set somewhere doing some sterling work. I know I'm on a set somewhere, but this isn't really so much acting as it is presenting. Just my director was like, "You are on a set." That's true. Yeah. That is true. By the way, I got to see, the show I did in Budapest and Prague?
Yes.
That came out in America on Tuesday, and so I got the footage of it today, and it's all rather lovely. So it's going on the new reel next week.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. But apparently genies will find loopholes, I'm being told, and if I said put me on a set, I will specify a movie set, and that obviously I would have to be the star of that movie, because I'm sick of doing bit parts, I really...
So that's your IMDb, kind of burgeoning with credits.
Yeah, I've got loads. Yeah, have you not seen it?
Well, I think I might have. I glanced at one of your pilot episodes on YouTube. I thought that was very good, actually.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm only saying that to keep you happy.
20, 30 TV shows, something like that.
Yeah.
Which pilot was it, though?
You were interviewing people behind a desk, I believe.
Interviewing people? That's presenting. I'm talking
about
hardcore
acting.
Yes, love.
I'll have a look, darling.
It's all out there, You can go to Vimeo, vimeo.com/Rob Lock.
Okay.
Or anywhere on the internet.
Meanwhile, back to the watches.
And you might find me wearing a watch just like this in certain of the projects that I have.
So I'd love to know if anyone was interested in that watch, because that's so unusual.
They were. They
were.
We had Rob from Covent Garden was very interested in that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the honour now.
On your honour, or your honour, Her Majesty's honour, even.
I think people are going to like. I think
now, of
the folks are going to like the colours of the next one that's going to come up.
Yes, it is it's a little funky, man.
Yeah.
They are a little bit more jazz. You know what I mean?
And they're very contemporary. These colours, and I think they're going to strike a chord with the stylish people out there that are watching this wonderful concerto. This cantata.
Cantata.
Yes.
Frittata.
Look at that cherry red. Don't you love it?
I do. And it is bold. It's brazen. It's bombastic.
This has got the Seiko quartz movement in it. So this has got that hybrid movement, which we were talking about earlier. Really great.
134.99. This is 119645. Comes in either the red or you can get it in the blue as well. We'll go one by one. And again, if there are any watches you particularly would like to see, we'll go in whatever order you want. I don't know. Well, let me ask Gemma, our producer, if we've had any more emails. Let's see. We were after a feature film tonight, weren't we? We came off of Die Hard with a Vengeance.
We did.
I thought we did.
Hence my comment about Vengeance earlier on.
I didn't get it. Now I understand. Yeah. Why they said, why are we selling watches? If someone said why? If someone said if time is an illusion, why are we selling?
Oh, they're making the mistake that it's about time.
No, because
it's not about time.
It's an illusion in the sense that time itself doesn't exist, but we perceive linear time, and we are the ones that created the seconds and hours and minutes. So that that it's not the universe that created those, they were man-made kind of thing. So you need to sell watches in order to measure those increments of what we perceive as linear time based on our own creation. Does that make sense?
Not really, but
I did try to say it in as confusing a way as I possibly could, just to make me sound clever.
But the last thing you want to do, I mean, we want to know the time. You look at your phone, don't you? But these are works of engineering that you're buying because you like the idea of
I chose
the mechanical stories behind it. And this, And that is just the way that it's put together that makes it special. 45mm case size and
Sorry. Oh no.
Sorry, what?
We've got a debate going on now. My director said that I'm wrong with my assessment of time. No, I'm not. No, I know. You see, Kieran. Sorry, I'm multiverse. I'm all, what do you call it? Quantum physics, not traditional physics. Space time is, you know.
We're all in a donut. You realise?
We're all in a donut. That's
yes.
Right. Yeah.
And
actually, can I just put a button on all of this?
go on.
The reason there's no such thing as linear time is it's like a film, right? Time is made up of sections, of frames, if you will, of reality, which can be created by infinite time and for an infinite amount of space by just collisions of energy. So if you throw enough Lego bricks up in the air and they all land, then they would form a pattern, and eventually they'll form every pattern of everything that possibly exists, given long enough, right? So that's what we are. It's patterns of energy. That's why the table's made of the same stuff as me, the same stuff as the watch. But each frame of our perceived reality could have occurred. You know, what I'm about to say next could have actually been made 1 billion years from now. But because we're part of the construct, it all appears to flow like a film. Now, you make a film out of sequence, right? So to the editor, the film would be all cut together from all different parts. But if you're a character in the film, it appears linear. Does that make sense?
My brain's
Have I blown your mind yet?
No, I didn't have a headache when I started, but now I have this intense headache.
But you see, it's a watch show, so I think if you're going to sell watches, you've got to get into the nitty-gritty of time itself.
Well, I'll go with what you're saying, but in fact, I like to think that the only thing that's important is actually being able to have a nice breakfast in the morning and something like that, and enough ability to actually be able to afford a beautiful watch occasionally.
Yeah.
And here's an affordable, beautiful watch. It is called the Mechanical Quartz watch.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is another Seiko Quartz. It does have a stopwatch function to it, and it's contemporary as well. It's got a Milanese strap. Now, Rob, what do you know about Milanese straps?
Well, everything. What would you like to know?
Well, where did they come from?
They come from Milan.
Well, that's very good. But in fact, the straps don't come from Milan, but the designs came from the Milanese had this chainmail they used to make, which is called Milanese chainmail.
Yes.
But this is a piece of woven technology.
I am completely bluffing. I have no idea.
I know, but you're making a good job.
No, you're absolutely correct.
And it has been said through my ear that they were called shark-proof.
Were they?
Originally, yeah, when they were marketed by those big Swiss manufacturers, they had those black and white photographs that said shark-proof, and they had a picture of a diver going into the water. But unfortunately, the diver wasn't shark-proof.
No, that's
so the watch might survive.
So yeah, the watch was fine, but the diver not so much.
And they were very fashionable. The Milanese straps, they've got one really great thing about them. Well, many things, but the great thing is that they actually allow you to fit the watch to your wrist when you get it home. So you don't have to take it anywhere to get it to actually get it fitted.
Right, brilliant.
Which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, very simple. I remember that those actually they were quite prevalent. Those self-adjusting straps when I was a kid. I seem to recall. Yeah, love it.
So you just adjust. We won't show now, but you can see that there's a little adjustment there, and you lever that up, and then you can fit it to a 200mm case size. Sorry, 200mm wrist size, which is quite a lot.
$134.99 is the price. 119,645. Excuse me. I might ask if we can just take a wee break, if we have one to hand, and I'm going to get a little sip of water, and then we're going to go back to where we started and show you our best sellers. But if there is anything at ShopOnTV.co.uk that you would particularly like to see, then all you have to do is drop an email to myself and to David, and we will bow to your every whim, and we will show you whatever it is that your heart desires after this.
At ShopOnTV, our goal is to provide you with the best shopping experience possible. Our team of shopping experts is dedicated to sourcing the latest, greatest and most desirable products at the lowest prices available, delivering them to you quickly, conveniently and ensuring your complete satisfaction. We're passionate about maintaining the highest standards of quality and service, every step of the way from design to dispatch. Our nightly live broadcast is your TV window into the global marketplace, presenting you with a collection of carefully curated must-have items, demonstrated by our on-air team with honesty, integrity and trust. Plus, there's even more in our online store at ShopOnTV.co.uk. So, when it's time to shop, shop on TV. After you've ordered from ShopOnTV, we aim to deliver your purchases as quickly as possible. Postage and packing charges cover standard UK delivery, which is normally 3 to 5 working days, though depending on the carrier, you could receive your products sooner. Certain items may be offered with expedited delivery for a nominal extra charge. We'll give you a delivery estimate every time you place an order. Not going to be home or prefer to have your packages arrive at a different address? No problem. Just enter the destination information when you check out. Once you pay, it's on the way from ShopOnTV.
Keep up to date with all the latest news, information and special offers from ShopOnTV by following us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok and YouTube. You'll find us at ShopOnTV Live. Be a part of our fun community at ShopOnTV.
You are watching Shop on TV. My name's Rob. This is Dave. Good name, Dave, by the way.
Yeah, Dave and Rob.
Dave and Rob.
Yeah.
It's the Dave and Rob show, but it's a name I like so much.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be called David.
Yeah.
But my first cousin beat me to it.
I was meant to be Steve, actually.
Were you really?
Yeah.
I was so annoyed. I was like, I don't want to be Robert. I want to be Steve. I mean, no, I'm not Steve. I want to be Dave. All right, Dave. So that's why I named my son David.
Very good. Well, I met your son. He's a wonderful chap.
Oh, thank you very much.
And
He's all right.
very good. It's a shame that I'm not here tonight, but he did want to buy some of our watches, so I thought that was good.
He loves these.
He did like. I think he'd like this one.
I might get this. He's 21 on the 4th of April. But this would be perfect.
Yeah.
As a gift for a youngster such as he, who's he's got his, what do they call the youngsters call it? He's got his drip. Mm-hmm. You know, his drip. That's when when you close, his drip, isn't it? Yeah.
Now, this is pick of the night. This one.
Pick of the night. It is pick of the night.
Because this, I mean, the price is really ridiculous.
Excuse me.
You're getting a watch.
Watch. Yeah. For $59.99.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
Because you've got the analog, as they say in the trade, the analog function, which is indeed the Arabic numerals and the fact that the watch is telling the time. And you've also got, as you can see there at the 6 o'clock window, you've got the ability to have a second time zone, which we haven't set up. But and of course, when I was setting them up earlier, there's a 2-minute difference between the two of them, which is my bad, as the Americans say.
Right. My bad.
Yeah. Mineral glass.
The price of this. Mineral glass.
And alarm. It's got an alarm function.
Yeah.
It's got a stopwatch function. It's got a backlight. It's got a strap that is so contemporary that definitely the cool kids are going to like that strap because it's got a gunmetal finish to it.
Oh yeah, I love the gunmetal.
A little bit of studding going on.
Bit of
studding.
For a stud. Bit of studding. Got studding on the crown.
So
studding on the buttons.
And this is Samuel Joseph, which we haven't seen before.
Brand new, launching for the first time. What is the relationship? I don't even know if I'm supposed to ask this, but between Samuel Joseph and Swan and Edgar.
They're cousins. Yes. And both British designed watches. But the Samuel Joseph's got that nautical theme, as you can see there, the anchor and the rope.
Yeah.
Did you know? I mean, there are very few pubs called the Rope and Anchor, apparently.
I was just going to say it sounds like the pub. No, they're not many.
No.
That surprises me actually.
But we're looking there at the kind of the Pool of London and the whole history of and all of that. But
I love this aspect of
it's just that contemporary design there. And again, the pricing for this is just amazing.
It's bananas, isn't it? Let's be honest. Look at that.
So which one do you like? I mean, I'd love to know. Do we get any statistics about which one is selling more between the red and the yellow?
I don't know, but no.
I'd like to know.
They're apparently pretty equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gemma says. Gemma's out.
I mean, they've both got.
Finger on the pulse.
Don't you agree? Both of those colours have got their adherence, because people would like the black, discreet black, and the red. But you see, I like the red one because I think about the sun shining.
Yes.
I want the sun to shine this weekend. I really do. I desperately need to get a little bit of vitamin D.
Well, I'm working Sunday Sunday night into Monday morning. But as it is Easter Monday, no one's working. I'm going to actually take the day off. But I've got to do my American tax return. So that's really fun. Yeah. So the one chance I get to have a bit of time off. But anyway, there we are. Do you know there are two countries in the world that tax people based on their citizenship rather than their residency? One of them is Eritrea and the other one's the United States. So it doesn't matter where in the world I live, I have to always...
But does that mean you pay twice as much tax as anyone else?
No, they've got a double taxation treaty, but it depends on if you've paid tax in a country, whether the exchange rate works in your favour or not, because the pound is stronger than the dollar, it does. But otherwise you could technically end up having to pay more tax. It's a pain in the bum.
So you've got rotating
maybe
bezel
the new
here.
president will change that. He was supposed to when he was the old president.
Actually, I'll tell you a story about one of the great presidents. I'm apparently not allowed to mention the name of the president.
Okay.
Someone told me. But he wore a watch of, not this watch, of course.
No.
But he wore a watch of similar price point.
Right.
And the sales suddenly went completely off the scale.
Really? Oh, okay. Yeah. Is this a modern day president or an older?
We can say it's the last 100 years. Because otherwise we can be pinning down.
Narrow it down.
Yeah.
Kieran, tell me in my ear, please, just out of curiosity. I won't repeat it, I promise. Oh, he's going to tell me after the show.
He doesn't trust you, no.
I'm not going to willingly do something that will get me thrown off the airwaves. I am thinking about, retiring from presenting. But I wouldn't go out with a bang like that.
Yeah.
Like sort of giving away. I don't want to get the old hook to come in. Yeah.
Well. It's so much nicer to meet everyone on STV and ITV and know that you're protected by the Advertising Standards Authority.
Yes, and Ofcom. And the
Ofcom,
integrity of the presenters of this fine show.
Indeed.
Yes. I love red and black is one of my favourite combos.
And of course, again, if you're a football fan, you're going to choose that if you've got a particular team in mind.
Yeah. What would that be, Arsenal?
That's the only I was thinking of AC Milan, actually.
AC Milan? Oh, I don't know. I don't do football, sorry.
No. Well, I know about them, at least.
Do you?
Yeah.
Man United is a red one as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's lots of football fans out there that might want to get that.
Yeah.
And of course, the black and that's not really Newcastle, is it? Because it doesn't have any. Oh yes, that could be Newcastle.
That could be Newcastle.
Whoops.
Oh, okay.
Newcastle.
Not as easy as it looks, is it, David?
Yeah. No. It isn't when you get spontaneous.
No. I love to plan my spontaneity as much as I possibly can.
Indeed.
There you go. There's the website, ShopOnTV.co.uk. That's what it looks like. It'd be really lovely to present to you this evening. Hope you're enjoying your Easter weekend. I imagine a lot of people are now wherever if you've been travelling, you've arrived at whatever your destination is. And I know if you got to some exotic location, the first thing you thought was, we must pop on Shop on TV before we go to bed. And thank you for doing that. I'm going to say this is my second favourite watch of the night. I love the big chunky gold one. That's my favourite, but this is my second favourite. And I do really I like both of them. I like the two-tone. For $74.99, once more, you are being given a massive amount of value that is built in to these timepieces without having to pay a premium for it.
But this is catering to a tremendous demand out there, and there is in the watch world. And I get very frustrated sometimes with the fact that so many watches are 45mm case size, 45mm all the time. Yes. This is 38mm, and just people have their choices in life, what they want to have. Yeah. But personally, I like a little bit of a smaller watch size, and the 38mm ticks that box perfectly.
It's just right. It's the what do you call it? The three bear syndrome, isn't it? Yeah. This one's just right. Goldilocks. Yeah, it's the Goldilocks syndrome.
The Goldilocks phenomenon.
Yes.
And you've got a domed mineral glass on that, and 162-part 20-jewel movement, which you can see through the skeletonized face with Arabic numerals. It's 15mm deep, and it has the exhibition back as well. So you can see what the watch, and you can see the rotor arm, which is what the rotor arm, of course, is what's powering the watch, and it's all done by kinetic energy. As we said earlier in the show, John Harwood was the inventor of the automatic watch in 1924, which is, wow, 100 years ago.
It's 100 years ago, yes, so it is. Gosh, and it feels like it was so much longer. I remember it very well.
And do you think we're only 3 years away or 4 years away from the first talkies? You know, 1927.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think those films are now 100 years. Some of the films we actually watched, some of the really famous films, 90 years old.
Well, because the first, they weren't talkies, but one of the first films ever made was Fly Me to the Moon or To the Moon or 1901, 1902, something like that, I think it was.
I can't watch those films. They don't grab me.
Well, then they were more a marvel, a technological marvel in those days, weren't they? And gosh, like all technology, it's increased exponentially, hasn't it? The same with watchmaking, I would imagine. I mean, if you think when I was a kid, there were no mobile phones at all. Now there are computer. Well, the computers were things like the ZX81. We used to load software by using a tape recorder. Because they're not a rare cassette tape. They're not.
Well, I remember when calculators were rare.
Well, you know, Apollo 13, the technology on board Apollo 13 was that modern calculators have got more technology in them than they had on the whole spaceship.
I believe you.
Amazing, really.
But these watches and these wristwatches, they're only about 100, just over 100 years old, because they really came into the fore in the First World War. Yeah. When all the soldiers needed, you know, they couldn't have pocket watches in the trenches.
No,
so they produced these very cheap wristwatches, and that's how the watch industry got started.
Oh, congratulations! Somebody just bought a tourbillon. Yay!
Well, that's what. Now, what colour? Do we know what colour it was? Because I'm fascinated.
I don't know. We'll have to find out. I don't know if our systems tell us that yet. We'll have to see.
The technology doesn't permit that, so we'll have to speculate.
Yeah. What's your take on the theory, simulation theory?
Go on.
No, I'm asking if you have any thoughts about it.
Well, unfortunately, you've caught me on the hop there.
Ah, right.
Because you need to give me a little bit more of a clue.
Okay, so there is a theory that we are living in a simulation, that reality is actually...
about like Truman?
Well, even more than that, even more Matrix actually.
I see.
More a digital simulation, and Elon Musk is a big backer.
I'm just a very practical person, Rob. Yeah. I just want to sell a few watches. That's all.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you do it very well. Yeah.
Although I love having our chats.
No, but there was relevant. I don't say things.
No, I'm sure it wasn't. It was absolutely.
I just don't ever get the time to finish what I'm blooming saying, David.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
I just remember that when I was doing some training years ago, that they had this wonderful chap who, again, probably not allowed to mention his name, but one of our treasures.
Yes.
And he used to do these sales training films.
Yeah.
Oh, and they had this lovely chat with someone, and so trying to teach how salesmen should sell.
Yes, yeah.
And at the end of it, they had a lovely cup of tea and everything. Didn't buy anything. And the buyer said, well, now I'm terrible, so I've got to go and see that horrible man that sells me things.
Well, that's the thing. This is what they call over the garden fence style.
I know, it's brilliant.
Because people
Jack Hargreaves, do you see his back?
Yeah. But because I think audiences, buyers are intelligent enough to make up their own minds. There's nothing we can say that will make somebody buy this. There are people who you do agree or you don't agree.
I do agree. You do. I do. Yes.
You know, there are people who will bark and scare tactics. Buy it now, it's about to sell out, or otherwise. You know, we only say that if it's actually true. But at the end of the day, people get them and they have buyer's remorse and they send them back anyway.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'd rather people make an informed choice.
But I'm really delighted someone bought a tourbillon because...
Yeah, so am I. Well, that was a wise...
Because they're absolutely rare.
Yeah. I mean, our job is to extol the virtues.
Yes, really. It is.
And that's what I love about... Because shopping television as a business essentially is dead. Because everyone shops online. But to the extent, but the one thing where we win is that we get a chance to really show these things in depth. If you went into a jeweller's shop, you wouldn't get to see these things to the extent that we show them. You don't have the opportunity necessarily to ask questions from an expert who knows everything there is to know about.
Have you ever gone into one of these chains and actually asked someone a question about one of the products?
Oh,
they don't know.
They have no idea.
idea.
And it's no disrespect to them because they might have hundreds of products or thousands of products. And they can't know everything. But no, that is the beauty of our broadcast here, because people can make a really, truly, honestly informed decision. But I'd much rather people buy something because they know they want to buy it now, not because somebody on the telly's forced them, or
Absolutely
forced them to do it. So, 339678 is the item number, and just as soon as you feel that this is the watch you want, then you can call 03333 241 241, or you can go online to ShopOnTV.co.uk. But don't buy it now just because you love it. Only buy it when you know it's going to make you feel the way you want to feel when you buy something you love. Know what I mean? It's so interesting. I've spoken because obviously I like to think my main profession is that of an actor.
Yes.
But I was one of the first presenters in this country when the first shopping channel started. I was sort of the third phase of new presenters, so they'd been on air a year when it had started. And I did that for about 7 years. It was so much fun, and it actually kept me occupied for about 7 years. And then I've done it abroad, and I've worked for a couple of channels here. But so I've had my fair share of transactional television.
You've seen it actually develop over that time.
I have, yeah. I mean, I've been
from the kind of really a strong sales pattern at the beginning.
Yeah, and it's people's learned over the years. But I've also spoken to hundreds and hundreds of customers. And people come up to me, and I've had people say to me, "Rob, we love watching you. We watch all the time." And I go, "Oh, have you bought anything?" "Oh no, we'd never buy from television." What? Why? Well, it's television, isn't it? And so there are some people. It doesn't matter what you could offer them, a bar of gold worth thousands of pounds for a fiver, and they still wouldn't buy it just because it's on telly.
Yeah. Which
is it's a strange phenomenon. I haven't found a way to counteract it really. I think trust is a big thing, and people have been programmed to think that, like, I thought a lot of these sort of late night infomercials, that there's I don't know.
You can't interact with them, can you?
Going on, It's the snake oil thing. But as I like to remind everybody who's watching now, we are on ITV1 and STV. This is a partnership with both of those companies. We get up to 3 hours of their airtime every single night, 60 days a year. They wouldn't have entrusted us with their Ofcom license and their airwaves if we weren't legit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
no, I really think that this is a great and I've said to you before about Shop on TV. I was here right at the beginning. That this is a great idea.
Thank you.
And I think also the way that you present it also makes it a far more interactive show.
For sure.
And I think over time maybe we get more people writing in because they'll know that we will talk back.
Well, and it's in its infancy. We've been on the air 4 months, and we had to get it all together within literally 6 weeks.
Yes.
So Rome was not built in a day. We have so many big plans. We've got major brand. By the way, people have got to tune in next Wednesday night into Thursday morning, because we've got major household brands, food and household items, and pet supplies and all kinds of things like that. Some products for 1 pence that,
Oh, wow.
like stuff you go to the supermarket for. We're going to be offering some of these amazing products.
I shall definitely tune in.
You should. You'll save a fortune. So this is the gold version. We've got the black. I love the gold. That's also one of my favourites for tonight.
So we switched to a slightly larger case size.
Yes,
now.
we did.
43 mil case size. Again, not outrageously large.
No.
It's good size. Or skeletised again. Very much the Samuel Joseph style list.
It's very stealth, this.
162 parts and 20 jewels. Rotating bezel.
The fact it's got any parts and any jewels for 80 quid.
I know.
It is impressive. It really is, isn't it?
And it's like, there was a brand years ago that used to advertise on Radio Caroline. I won't mention
I remember Radio Caroline.
Yeah, and they were, everybody had one, because they watched it, they just did what they meant to do.
Yeah.
Tell the time. Yeah.
But also things have changed. Modern manufacturing processes have moved on, and the ability to produce in larger quantities some of these fine, very small, intricate components has obviously allowed the prices to come down. But it's still quite impressive, considering that's all got to be put together.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it's the manufacturer then. We deal directly, obviously, with the manufacturer.
Yes.
So we cut out all the middle people, and there are no, sort of extra layers of markup or advertising fees, or this is our commercial. There's certainly no celebrity endorsement. So that's how we get these prices. But I will, yes, again, I just for my director's clarification, I will state that I am, in my mind, not a celebrity.
So you don't put yourself on the scale of A to Z then? You know, an A-lister, B-lister,
Oh.
you know? Or where would you put you in the alphabetical sense? I mean, if not A.
Well, I don't know, as a presenter or as an actor.
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
Definitely an
to be
A-lister.
honest, at the moment, in this country, a D-lister as an actor, because I haven't done enough stuff. In America, I would say C to B, because I've done a lot of stuff in America, and have reasonably well known there. But certainly not an A-lister. But I'm working on it. I do one day wish to receive I would love to win an Oscar, not because I want the award, because that doesn't mean really very much to me at all, except it means that I've done some blooming good work that's made me deserving of it. So I'm just, you know, like every actor, I'm waiting for that really good part to come along, you know what I mean? I've had loads of breaks, and they just haven't gone anywhere, you know. Walter Matthau said, all you need to make it in Hollywood is 80 really big breaks. I've had big pilots, and then they haven't been picked up. I've had big pilots, they've been cancelled after 2 episodes. I had one pilot I was hired for, booked for the entire season, and then they changed the showrunners. Right before I was getting my shirt on to go to the table read for episode 2. This is after waiting all summer to find out if we got picked up. And my agent called and said they've postponed the table read. And 3 days later, they fired the showrunner, hired a new showrunner who rewrote all of the episodes and wrote my character out completely. So it was there. I was literally ready to go to work, and then so you just never know. But to what we were saying earlier, you have to be in it for life.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Some people get their success late in life, some people earlier in life, and some people never at all. But if you don't play the game, you're never going to win it.
Indeed.
And same with watches, really, isn't it? If you don't buy the watch, you're never going to wear it.
That's true. And I mean, we've had these shows before where you've said, now I don't know why anyone's not buying the watches, but they are loving the look of the watches at least.
No, they are buying
But
them.
they are tonight, so that's really, really reassuring. And just to explain, this to get this black finish on that stainless steel, that's the hardest thing for the watchmaker to do. Because it's called, it's a titanium carbide.
I see.
In a vacuum, and it's apparently quite a difficult process to do.
I can't imagine any of this is easy.
Yeah.
Would you know where to start if you got
No, not at all.
box of bits and
Well, I'd need
a
the old vacuum
glass.
pump to start with to actually get the
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
into. But no, it's just I have seen them made. It's really very interesting. If you get the chance, you can see it on YouTube. You can actually watch some of it, or other on the internet. You can see how watches are made.
Yeah.
And here you have.
And if they're fully handmade, they're
of course they are
ridiculously expensive. Some parts are automated now, and you know, but it doesn't. I don't see. I'm not. What's the word? I don't care about that sort of thing. I'm not. What's the word? I can't think of it. Never mind. It'll come back to me. It's at the end of the day, it's the final result is what matters. I'm not a snob. I'm not a snob about it.
Right.
If the watch is a great watch, if it's been hand assembled, I can appreciate. How impressive that may be. But even if it's not, I mean, I buy stuff that's been fully machine made. You know what I mean? But it's quite impressive.
I mean, when we say hand assembled, people sometimes make the mistake of saying hand built. They're not hand built. They're hand assembled.
Hand assembled, yeah.
But all the components are made by a computer controlled machine.
Yeah. But no, I'm saying some watches are completely hand built, aren't they? But
they are.
That's why you pay ludicrous amounts of money.
And you've got a little Swiss workman, drilling 2,000 holes into the fascia to make, and doing all sorts of.
And that's how it used to be done.
Yeah.
$79.99, $99.99 is the price. Do buy only as soon as you're ready to now. Okie dokie. We're going to go back to our tourbillon because do we know which colour we're trying to find out which colour was purchased. We don't know at the moment for reasons that are quite beyond me. For some reason, our computer's not playing ball.
All the colours are lovely, but normally what happens, I can assure everyone out there, is the blue goes first. There's something about the fact that blue is, the most popular watch colour is white, believe it or not.
Okay.
Across the world for some reason. And then after that, black.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And then after that, blue. And so people are very conservative when they buy watches, and they say, I'm going for the blue because it's a safe option.
Our video's playing nicely this time.
I personally like all of these colours. And I relate them to the Aurora Borealis.
Aurora Borealis, yes.
Because if you look at some of those fabulous photographs of the colour textures, you see it here. You see it in the three colours together.
But you see, I like the green, and actually for the same reason our producer does, because it's actually a bluey green. It's more of a turquoise, I would have said. So it sort of it straddles the line, doesn't it? So if you like a pure sort of what would we call that? A baby blue kind of. Well, it's not quite navy, is it? It's so this one here is
that is the space green.
The space green, and this is
and the blue is like a lapis blue.
Yeah. Like a silvery
and lapis lazuli finish.
Is that how we say that in England? Lazuli.
I don't know.
Lazuli.
Lazuli. Sorry. Yeah.
But in America they say lazuli.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lapis lazuli.
Right.
And they call it something different in Australia.
So this is a 42mm case size with sapphire glass. It has an amazing specification because it's 12.4mm deep, 322 parts, 19 joules, 50 plate milling process, 450 different actions before you get a single watch produced, made in such few numbers. And there's not a tourbillon on the market I have seen that has this particular style to it. I mean, because the colours, as you can see there, Rob is brilliantly displaying all three of them together.
Can you hear it? I can hear them ticking.
And you can hear it ticking as well, because it's a mechanical movement. It's a 28,400 beats a minute. Sorry, a minute. No, is it an hour? Isn't it? Yeah. You know, it's a high beat movement. We tried that before, Robert, and it didn't kind of pick up, did it? It doesn't work.
That's a shame. So those are all three. Pick a colour. Which one would you like us to focus on? Dealer's choice, David.
So for those of you on the radio, we're referring to the one on the left.
Black is behind the brown. Yes. Now, which colour would you like me to pick?
I would like you to pick the Shepherd's Sunset, the red.
Red. Okay.
And
I just had to work out which hand that was in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's weird on television. Everything's back to front and upside down.
So a little bit backstory here. Invented by Breguet patented in 1805. He was a watchmaker to Napoleon, to Marie Antoinette, and they didn't like each other. So because Marie Antoinette lost their head, of course.
Yeah.
And he was watchmaker to George III. Breguet himself nearly got executed by the Terror, as you know.
Right.
But because he was friends with a French revolutionary who he saved by disguising him as a woman and getting him out of a mob situation a couple of years earlier, Breguet was given a passport to get to London. Right. So Breguet came to London, did a bit of work for the Royal Court over here, and then when things calmed down, he went back to France, and he only made 30 tourbillons in his life. Most of them were rotating once a minute, but some of them rotated once every 4 minutes and once every 8 minutes. And Breguet's legacy lives on today.
And so essentially the concept of the tourbillon is that it helps to defy the effects of gravity by the movement is actually turning as well.
The whole movement.
You
can see what you're moving
yes.
through 360 degrees every minute. And you've got 80 parts in that phenomenal cage there.
Yeah.
This is the rendition is called a flying tourbillon. It's the most difficult thing to do because there's a single point of contact with the entire case, and everything spins around that. So it's
maybe our director can
very difficult to do.
Have a lovely shot in a moment.
So there you can see the escapement, being controlled by the pallet fork, going back and forth 28,400 times a minute. And an hour, get it right. And in fact, it's 28,800. Sorry.
So again, these are half price, David. They're normally.
Well, we like to do something like that for the Shop on TV because it's always good to get ambassadors out there that want to get the watches.
I mean, every time.
As I say, it's only two. So
there are only two colour.
Only two people in the United Kingdom will be able to own the tourbillon tonight.
That's it in this colour.
Yeah.
One of them has already gone. In fact, actually, we've got how many people? 2 or 3 in the 2 other people now about to buy them. Again, I do apologise that we don't at the moment have the ability for you to spread the cost. That is coming, it honestly is. It's a lot more complicated than you'd think, which is why it's taking us a while to do it. We are sorting out getting PayPal back as well, and hopefully even extending the number of different monthly instalments you can do with that. But so for now, it's a question of if it's in your price range, if it is affordable for you. But they are significantly limited quantities worldwide, aren't they? I mean, you just would never run into anyone with one.
I worked out that
Swan and Edgar Tourbillon convention.
Yes, so if you went to Wembley Stadium and you were there with 70,000 of your best friends, the chances are no one else is going to have one of these.
No, precisely.
No.
I mean, it's prestige, it's elitist. But
it's what people crave. I mean, you know, when they've got collections and people have got 60, 70 watches in their collection, they don't have a single tourbillon.
No.
Because the tourbillons are beyond the price range for most people.
Do lots of watch manufacturers make tourbillons?
Everyone has one. Yeah, they're the kind of, I'm not sure whether everyone has them. Because I don't think that big Swiss one. That big Swiss one doesn't have it either.
Oh, does it?
No, but it's kind of like it's an essay in art and workmanship. It's very difficult to actually put together the team. There's 30 watchmakers working on this. I mean, it's a lot of coordination, and I don't think they make any money out of it.
Shall we, Kieran? Shall we impress everyone with this? Oh, okay, never mind. I was going to say with the superb close-up work that. I mean, it is. It's like going to a museum or going to a gallery and watching a piece of watching a work of art. It's a horological work of art, isn't it? Really.
And watch. Every little bit of the watch is considered, as they say. You know, you went to if you go to an art gallery in the West End, you know, and someone describes a painting to you, you suddenly see the things in the painting you didn't know were there.
Yeah, sure.
And it's the same with this. You suddenly realise, you know, there's a sculpted case to this in 316 stainless steel. There's the sapphire glass, which is the premier watch material. There's a first layer of the strap, and the way that strap works in terms of sizing it to your wrist, we haven't sized it to your wrist yet.
No.
But we could do.
Yes.
And
I don't think we have enough.
Everything going together to present itself with the box as well as something which is a gift of a lifetime, really. Yeah. And something to pass on to your kids.
It's the sort of thing that if you are buying it for somebody, it's the what do you buy the person who has everything? And the fact is that, you know, this is a very, very impressive, and not one of a kind, but there are very few of these that have been made and will ever be made in the world. As I say, we're only able to get one or two of them every time we do the show, because it takes so long to make them, doesn't it? You know. And even down to the intricacy of the face, that wonderful sort of sunburst, or how did you describe it?
Well, it's a kind of the fume dial.
Fume, smoking.
Smoky dial.
Yeah.
And there's many, many layers of substrate putting onto that. And you can see some of the graining in there, very, very fine. And can you imagine how many times they get it wrong and you have to start again?
Yeah.
And that's all adding to the cost. And I love the fact it's Swan & Edgar London. And when you look at any tourbillons out there, I haven't found them any with this simplicity, elegant simplicity of design on this watch.
Because I've seen a lot of tourbillons, and sometimes they do over-egg it.
They do, and they look tacky.
Yeah, they look schmaltzy and you know, gorgeous.
This one really does do the business.
Well, there's our website. You can look through absolutely everything, whatever it is that you wish to buy, you can peruse. And we haven't had a chance to show you everything, but if there is, we've got about 8 minutes left. So if there is anything there that you haven't seen yet, that you would like to see, just let us know and we'll flash it for you in a flash. Now, I want this one.
Yes.
Daddy.
It's the first time we've ever seen this watch on ShopOnTV.
I love it. Yeah. Our tourbillons are automatic.
No, the tourbillon is not. And the reason it's not, it's a 42-hour power reserve.
Right.
And the reason for it not being automatic is because you're not wearing a tourbillon every day.
Oh, no, of course they're not automatic. Sorry, I spoke out of turn. Yeah. So you wind them up, basically.
So you wind them up, but the 42-hour power reserve is reassuringly long.
That is, it's 2 days, basically.
Indeed.
And also, with the exhibition back, you would have seen the...
Yes, and the exhibition back would have had the rotor on it, so you wouldn't be able to see the insides.
Exactly.
And it wouldn't look very pretty.
So you give them a wind.
Yeah.
So wind them once a day, I suppose. You know, that's...
Yeah, but as I say, you don't have a tourbillon every day.
No.
Well, I mean, some people do. You know, maybe the guy with a...
once a day.
You wind them once a day, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even though the power reserve is 42 hours, you said, right? So it's almost 2 days. But if you do it, if you give them a wind every day, then you know that it's always going to have plenty of power in it. You know. So anyway, this is Shazam. That I love. This is definitely my James Bond watch. You press, where is it? The magnet's here. Don't ever press that one, or if you do, run away very quickly whilst not wearing the watch.
So the lugs, the pushers there are actually for controlling the day, date, month, and 6-second timer, but they're not to be used in every day. Well, as you say, don't press them because you're just everything's going to go wrong.
Yes.
But the way that this put together, it's 163 parts, 20 joule movement. It has that pure stainless steel strap, lovely, 14 millimeters deep and 45 millimeters in terms of the width of the watch. I love the way that burnished finish of the bezel really does complement the shininess of the gold around it. And it is rose gold. It might be, does it say rose there? But it is rose gold. And it is not the Samuel Joseph that we're showing there. This is the Swan Edgar.
No, this is the wrong L.
We have the wrong L on it.
But, sorry.
But that's all right.
Call it an L. It's actually more of an I these days than an L.
Yes.
By the way, if you're wondering, tomorrow night into Sunday morning, the clocks go forward. We're not sticking to time, we're sticking to show. So we will be on the air for the allotted amount of time. So technically we'll be coming off air at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right, and starting
at
whenever it
clocks
is.
Go back at 1 o'clock, isn't it?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. 2
Yeah.
o'clock. Forward,
yeah.
Clocks go forward at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So we will start. I think we're on air at about 20 to 1, something like that.
Do you know what the show is tomorrow night?
Tomorrow is we've got Miracle Chamois and some other great bits and bobs.
Great, I shall
We've
try and stay up and watch
Carpet
it.
Washer coming soon. I think it's on Sunday into Monday.
And when's the drone? When are the drones back?
Monday, I think. Monday into Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah, Monday into Tuesday, and then Wednesday into Thursday is when we have the launch of this amazing. I can't give any details away, but people are going to get 10% off of a site, off of a service that already gives you up to 60% off all your household goods, shopping like groceries and things like
great.
that, and cleaning products and things like that. So we've got 5 products, key products that will be 1 penny. Amazing. Anyway, this is 492-711. I honestly would contemplate quite seriously a life of crime, predominantly tonight.
Yes.
In order to own this watch.
So, for the watch collector, I guarantee you haven't seen a watch like that before because it's the honeycomb finisher. I think the reason that Rob likes the watch so much is because it's distinctive, and you're not going to meet other people in a dog and parrot with that watch.
It's masculine. It's sexy. It's James Bond. It's cocktails and bikinis, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? It's sports cars. It's expensive suits. It's the va-va-voom. It's the French Riviera. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's that classic E-Type Jaguar as you drive it, with the hood down.
Always.
Looking at those beautiful Smiths Industries instruments, and on the wrist,
I wish I
you'd
could
see that beautiful watch.
I've very expensive taste, but I've never had the money to afford them properly. But you don't need the money to afford. I mean, with this, $149.99, that's luxury I can afford. It's affordable luxury for everyone.
And an automatic watch.
Yeah.
So with a 5-year warranty, which is quite special. That is the Swan Edgar difference. And we're going to just have a moment to see actually our launch product here, which is the Samuel Joseph.
Yes.
And the Samuel Joseph with the Roman numerals, and this is a quartz watch, and it's really a great price on this watch.
I see what
something
happened.
Introductory price.
Gemma had the right graphics, I had the wrong watch.
Yes.
Or you could look at it the other way around, depending on who you want to blame. I love the depth of this watch. I am the puppet, apparently, and they are the puppet masters, so it was my fault. It's well, if I'm a puppet, then it's down to operator error, isn't it, if you're the puppet masters? So you got it wrong. Oh, dear. Anything you want to say?
So when you get a quartz watch, you are getting a great level of accuracy that the automatic watches cannot compete with. You have the downside of having a quartz watch is it doesn't have that mechanical joy. The upside is you can have a thinner case size, which is lovely, and you get a lower price. So
so I understand quartz, the battery vibrates the quartz, and that's what regulates the movement. Is that right?
That's right. Yes, the crystal. Is designed to rotate to vibrate at a particular frequency, and most quartz watches are accurate to at least a second a day.
That's plus or minus.
Plus or minus a second. Yeah.
Extraordinary. And again, there's nothing wrong with accuracy. Well, that's what I love about the Samuel Joseph. You've got affordability.
But it's affordability. There's
it's
the
affordability,
key thing here.
You've got quality, and you've also got accuracy. It brings together all the best elements, you know. And as long as it looks good and it don't cost a lot and it works properly, what more do you want?
Yeah.
You know, all right, this is not going to be the prestige watch where you boast about it at the
This is not
Christmas
a Grail
party.
watch. You've heard about Grail watches.
No, right. Well, that's the Tourbillon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Grail watch.
Yeah.
But it's an everyday, a very, very stylish addition to your watch collection.
But Samuel Joseph's first, I mean, it's great to actually start the Samuel Joseph story tonight.
Yeah.
We'll remember tonight. We'll think
will.
of Samuel Joseph as we go to sleep.
No, we won't.
Soon.
I won't. But I'll be asleep in the Uber if I get one tonight. Otherwise, who knows whether I'll be here tomorrow. I may have to stay all day. David, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob. It's a great pleasure to talk to you.
Yes, indeed. And thank you so much to you as well for watching.
Thank you.
So continue enjoying your Easter weekend. I will be with you again tomorrow night, just after or around 1 o'clock. Bye.